You see, every day you wake up, you are faced with a battle. Not with people, not with situations, not with your environment, but with your mind. The mind is the battlefield. Before you step out of your bed, the enemy has already whispered to you, you are not enough, you are too late, you are too weak, you cannot make it. And if you don't have the word of truth to answer back, you begin your day already defeated. You must learn to talk to yourself before life talks to you. You must learn to speak to your spirit before the world speaks to your weakness, because your spirit hears what your mouth says. You see, many of us wait for people to encourage us. We wait for someone to remind us that we can make it. But I tell you, the greatest conversation is not with your neighbor, it is with your own soul. When you begin to speak truth into yourself, you begin to shape your atmosphere. Your words carry presence, power, and prophecy. You become what you constantly confess. When you wake up in the morning, don't rush to check who texted you, who liked your post, or who called you. Before you face the world, face yourself. Before you listen to others, listen to the voice inside you. Stand before the mirror and speak life, because what you tell yourself every day determines what you will believe when storms arise. The voice you feed is the voice that wins in battle. The first thing to tell yourself every day is this: I am alive because there is still purpose in me. Many wake up and see the morning light, but have no reason to live. They move, but their spirit is tired. You are not alive by accident. God kept you because there is still an assignment you have not yet fulfilled. Each morning you are permitted to breathe is a reminder that heaven is not finished with you. When life becomes heavy, tell yourself, if I am still here, it means God still has a reason. Purpose is the anchor of endurance. You will not give up easily when you know there is a reason you are still breathing. The second thing to tell yourself every day is, my value does not depend on people's opinion. Too many destinies are imprisoned by what others say. When you allow people's words to define your worth, you have given them permission to control your peace. People's opinions are like shadows. They change when the light moves. Today they clap for you. Tomorrow they criticize you. If you allow their noise to become your voice, you will lose your identity. The same people who said Hosanna to Jesus on Sunday shouted, crucify him on Friday. Tell yourself, I know who I am. I don't need validation from man when I already have approval from God. The third thing to tell yourself every day is, peace is my choice. Listen to me. Peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is the presence of Christ in the midst of it. The world cannot give it, and the world cannot take it away. There are people who live in mansions but cannot sleep. There are people with luxury cars but no rest in their soul. You can have nothing and still have peace. You can have everything and still have torment. Each morning, choose peace. No matter what others do or say, remind yourself, my reaction is my responsibility. Don't let anyone steal your peace because of their noise. When you keep your peace, you keep your power. The fourth thing to tell yourself every day is, I will not live in the past. Yesterday is gone. You cannot change it, no matter how much you cry over it. The mistake has been made, the pain has been felt, but God has already written a new chapter. Don't sit in the ashes of yesterday when God is trying to clothe you with a new garment today. Stop replaying the scenes of regret in your mind. Stop carrying yesterday's guilt into today's grace. Tell yourself, I forgive myself. I release myself. Because when you refuse to let go of the past, you delay your future. God cannot use a vessel that is still holding on to what He already forgave. The fifth thing to tell yourself every day is, I am stronger than what I feel. Your feelings are not always facts. You may feel tired, but strength is inside you. You may feel hopeless, but faith is still alive. Don't let emotions dictate your direction. Tell your feelings what your faith knows. When fear says, you can't, let your spirit answer, with God, all things are possible. There are moments when you will not feel spiritual, when prayer feels dry, when faith feels far. In those moments, speak to yourself. Say, my feelings are not the truth. The truth is, I am an overcomer. That is how you grow from emotion to conviction. The sixth thing to tell yourself every day is, I will be kind, even when others are not. Listen to me. Kindness is not weakness. It is power under control. When you respond to hate with peace, you confuse your enemy. When you love those who hurt you, you rise above them. Don't let other people's behavior change your character. When you do good, do it unto God, not unto man. The greatest test of love is not when you are treated right, but when you are wronged. Tell yourself every morning, no matter what comes my way, I will not let bitterness find a home in me. Because when you allow bitterness in, you poison your own peace. The seventh thing to tell yourself every day is, delay is not denial. Many of you have prayed, fasted, believed, and yet nothing seems to happen. You begin to think God has forgotten you. But I tell you, when God delays, He is not denying, He is preparing. Every blessing that takes time is being shaped to fit you perfectly. You don't put raw food on the table, you wait until it's ready. In the same way, God is still cooking your testimony. When it's done, it will fit your life beautifully. Don't compare your season with others. Tell yourself, my time will come. My story will speak. My turn will arrive. Waiting time is not wasted time when you wait in faith. The eighth thing to tell yourself every day is, I will keep moving forward. No matter how slow, keep moving. You may crawl, you may limp, but keep going. Progress is progress, even if it's one step a day. The enemy's greatest weapon is discouragement. He knows if he can make you stop, he has already won. But if you keep pressing, even when it's painful, your victory is certain. Tell yourself every morning, I refuse to stop where I was hurt. I refuse to camp in my confusion. I will rise and move. You see, faith does not look at the distance. Faith looks at the direction. The journey may be long, but the God who started it will finish it. And the ninth thing to tell yourself every day is this: whatever happens today, it will not shake my faith. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. Prayers may not be answered the way you expect. But no matter what happens, let your faith remain unshaken. When the storm rises, faith must rise higher. When people walk away, faith must stand stronger. You don't need to understand everything to trust God. You just need to believe that He is too wise to make a mistake and too loving to be cruel. When life doesn't make sense, faith says, God knows. When everything breaks, faith says, God still reigns. You see, faith is not proven when things are going well. It is proven when everything falls apart. Anybody can believe when the sun is shining. But can you believe when it rains? Anybody can smile when things are easy. But can you smile when nothing is working? That is faith. Faith is when you walk into the fire, knowing that even if you burn, you will not bow. Faith is when you stand before your mountain and still declare, my Redeemer lives. Many of us allow circumstances to shake our confidence in God. We say, why did this happen to me? Why me, Lord? But I tell you, the same God who allowed the storm has the power to calm it. He may not stop the rain, but He will give you an umbrella. He may not remove the fire, but He will walk with you through it. Faith is not asking God to remove the trial. Faith is trusting that He is still with you in the trial. When Joseph was betrayed, sold, and forgotten, he could have said, where is God? But later, he looked back and saw that every pain was a step to the palace. When Job lost everything, he said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. When Abraham waited for years, he still believed that what God promised, He would perform. The same God of Abraham, of Joseph, of Job, is your God today. He has not changed. If He was faithful then, He will be faithful now. Tell yourself every morning, my faith will not depend on what I see. Because what you see can lie, but what God said will stand. The doctor's report can change. The economy can fall. People can fail. But God's word remains. Faith does not look at evidence. Faith looks at His promise. You may not see a way, but faith says, God is the way. You may not have the strength, but faith says, God is my strength. When fear comes knocking at your door, let faith answer. When worry whispers in your mind, let faith speak louder. When doubt says it's over, let faith shout, it's just beginning. You must train your heart to believe even when your eyes cannot see. Because faith sees possibilities where logic sees impossibility. There will be days when your prayers seem unanswered. There will be nights when you cry and heaven seems silent. But remember, silence is not absence. God is not ignoring you. He is preparing you. Every test of faith is a setup for a greater testimony. When He finally moves, you will understand why He delayed. Tell yourself, God's timing is perfect. I will not let frustration kill my faith. Do you know why many people lose battles before they even begin? Because they let their feelings dictate their faith. When they feel tired, they stop praying. When they feel alone, they stop believing. But faith is not a feeling. It is a decision. You decide to believe even when everything around you says no. You decide to stand when your legs are weak. You decide to praise when your heart is heavy. That is what separates faith from emotion. You see, the strength of your faith determines the strength of your life. When faith is weak, everything around you looks impossible. But when faith is strong, even the impossible begins to look easy. Faith gives you eyes that see victory before it arrives. Faith makes you calm when others panic. Faith teaches you to smile in the storm because you know the outcome is already settled. Let me tell you something, your faith will always be tested before your breakthrough. Before Abraham became a father of nations, his faith was tested. Before Joseph wore the crown, his faith was tested. Before Jesus rose in glory, his faith was tested on the cross. The test comes before the triumph. Don't fail your test. When it looks like everything is against you, remind yourself, this is only a test of faith. Keep believing, keep trusting, keep walking. Because faith that is tested is faith that can be trusted. So each morning when you wake up, tell yourself, no matter what happens today, whether people like me or not, whether doors open or not, whether I understand it or not, I will not lose faith. When you talk to yourself like that, you silence the lies of the enemy. You take control of your atmosphere. You shift your focus from fear to faith, from weakness to strength, from confusion to clarity. You are not what people say. You are not what happened to you. You are what God says you are. You are chosen. You are preserved. You are equipped. Every day you wake up, remind yourself of this truth. I am not alone. God is with me. God is for me. God is in me. That is how champions are built, not by the applause of men, but by the confessions of faith. When you start your day with truth, lies will not shake you. When you fill your heart with God's word, the world's noise cannot distract you. And when you constantly remind yourself of who you are, you become unshakable, unmovable, unstoppable. So from this day forward, don't wake up and wait for motivation from outside. Speak it from within. Look into the mirror and declare life. Your words are the seeds of your reality. Tell yourself who you are before the world tells you who you're not. Tell yourself what you can do before your circumstances say you can't. Tell yourself where you are going before doubt says you'll never arrive. Because in this life, the difference between defeat and victory is what you say to yourself when no one is watching. The moment you learn to speak life into your soul, you will rise above any storm, walk through any valley, and still stand tall.